Welcome back to another new episode. We're going to buttress on the proverb money is the root of all evil. That wrong one. Yes, the one I spoke about in my last video last week. And the reason I want to double down on this is because most cases I have seen how this quotes has been used to control, manipulate, downright oppress people, particularly women. So before we even begin, you know that the correct saying is the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil. Now, what is money? Legal tender. It means that any item that makes you be able to transact, buy and sell, that is money. It just happens that we have different currencies. So you have the dollar, you have the pounds, you have the euros, you have the shillings, you have the Ghanaian cedis. From the definition, you can see that money is a tool. The most basic example, let's use a hammer. If you have a hammer, you can use it to, make furniture, you can use it to build houses, you can do anything. But that same hammer can be used to kill, break legs, steal. Now, would you call the hammer bad? No. Why? Because the hammer itself is a tool. The hammer becomes a weapon in the hands of who? A dangerous person, but is a tool for a building in the hands of a builder. Now, so what does that say about people's relationship with money? Money just magnifies who you are. If you're a terrible person, you become more terrible. If you're a good person, you become a better person. In most cases, you can see billionaires who have open charities, open endowment funds, built schools. On the flip side, people who have evil intention get money and then open hotels, capture kids, kidnap. So to my girls, can you please come forward a little bit? You must have heard this for the thousand times.
Oh, you're too materialistic.
Don't be materialistic.
Talk about money too much. You like money.
In most cases, those statements are manipulative, controlling, and downright insultive. Let me give you an example. When I was in university, I was on my way back from church and I was in this shuttle. So we call it Tangboro. I schooled in OAU. So those white small shuttles are called Tangboro for God knows whatever reason. I think Yoruba people will understand what Tangboro means. I was then just reflecting and reminiscing on how much how life can be good for me. And then I said out loud, I was like, oh my God, I want to be so rich. I want to be so wealthy. And then the guy beside me was like, oh, pray for your husband to be wealthy. Pray for your husband to be rich. We're not having any conversation about marriage. I mean, in that particular situation where the boss was going up and down and the fact that we're all choked up, I just said it out loud, right? You know how you think out loud. But he just countered me and said, pray for your husband to be rich, pray for your husband to have money. And I was like, what is your problem? Oh, you're materialistic. Very religious bigots. I said it, yes, I'm a Christian. But a lot of religious bigots speak like that. So in relationships, sometimes you hear maybe you want to just do something very basic. Is that not too much? Just making this about money. But I'm here to tell you that that's very wrong. It's okay to have money. Let's stop romanticizing poverty. Stop downplaying the importance of money in any relationship, both siblingship, romantic relationship, husbandship, whatever ship. It's very important. And in cases where maybe you don't have the money, just say, oh, I don't have the money now. In my world of tech and investment, we know that capital creates impact. Grant funding, pre-seed, seed, whatever. You need money and lots of it. If you need to help your family, money. If you need to go to the hospital, money. Even when you die, you need to be buried, money. Now, let's find ethical ways to making money. Work hard, work smart, strategy over speed, like I said in my previous video. However, do not downplay money. Let people be comfortable speaking about money where you're there. I once dated a boy who would say, don't talk about money. Why are you talking about money? And to be very honest, I wasn't even like talking about money. It was just like, oh, talking about, okay, maybe my plans and, what I was currently doing. For every time I said something about money, he felt threatened. And I'm like, but you're making money. Anytime you go to the club, you spend money. For some weird reason, me talking about money is shady. If you would get one thing from the video, please speak this. Being broke is for a season. And it's okay. But poverty as a virtue, now that is prison. So let's break out of it. We're ambitious, we're smart, we like soft life. When you see anyone trying to cage you with this poverty limiting mindset, either by using wrongly interpreted scriptures, because I know somebody will still type this in my comment section. It is better for a poor man to go to heaven than for a rich man to pass through the eye of a needle. I can't really remember the exact saying. Remind the person that same Bible still says We are the what? Salt of the earth. Let our light so shine bright that men may see. That same Bible still has hundreds of quotes where God promised blessings, where the plans of God for our lives are of good and not of evil. Poverty is evil. Don't let anybody victimize you. And if you're in relationships where they've caged and imprisoned you, I'm not saying you should leave someone who doesn't have money. What I'm saying, someone who has a poverty limiting mindset, my dear brothers and sisters, pack your two left leg and run. My mother will say, run. Let your leg be reaching the back of your head. Run, no. Run, no. If they're not even religious, hey, run faster. In short, I believe I can fly. Fly away like a bird. Thank you. So, guys, what's the most annoying thing someone has said to you to justify being broke? Please leave it down in the comments. Let's discuss. Come to the end of this video. Go out. It's Friday. If you want to stay in, do whatever. But just meet me here next week, Friday. Bye. Because any money limiting mindset this year, I break it by fire. Somebody shout hallelujah.